If you're wondering what these containers are with water, it's a makeshift double boiler that I made for all my colorants to stay warm. That way, when it came time to mold, I had some kind of fluidity and I wouldn't have like a stiff batter going into the mold. It helps. I just have to move fast enough. And I have to add that when it comes to making these makeshifts, you only need an inch of water or you'll have spillovers. I take safety very seriously. I always ensure that I have my gloves on, I have a mask shield, I have long sleeves, long pads, always closed shoes for protection because anything can happen, anything when you least expect it. I'm prepared. I added a towel around the bucket because I needed insulation, more heat insulation. I didn't want my batter to get cooled down, even though at this point it's very, very hot. But I got this trick off of Valerie Morcher that she shared, that if you use a towel, it'll keep it more insulated. And thank you, Valerie, for that. It does help. Now you're gonna see here I'm just stick blending, and I do this through all stages. And at the beginning, if you noticed, it was kind of cottage cheese. That's the only way I know how to describe it, or applesaucey. Is because when I added the oatmeal, it started to separate. So by blending it, I had incorporated it all back together. And what I'm doing right now, as you can see right now, is mashed potato, and you're gonna see the color turn a little amber. Right now it's piping hot, but as you can see, the color is changing and it's getting darker and darker, and that's where the saponification is happening right now. So basically I have soap. In like 2 seconds I have soap. Now that I have soap, I immediately put my super fats and stir that in, and my sugar water, and then I'll start adding the rest of my after cook when the temperatures start to cool down. After I had put in my sodium lactate, I waited a little bit for it to, like 3 minutes, to loosen up a little bit. Then I added my milk, coconut milk, and then next I'll add the yogurt and the fragrance oil. I added kaolin clay to my fragrance oil. And I think that's where I started to notice it was a little thicker than usually. Maybe because I added too much kaolin clay. It wasn't to the point where I couldn't do anything with it. It was very manageable, as you can see. But as soon as I started putting it into the colorants, even with the boiler type makeshift thing, I noticed it's starting to get stiffened up pretty quickly. So I was trying to work as fast as I could. And having 5 colors in total didn't help either. I have the orange, the gold, the white, the brown, and the green, which you'll see that at the end when I was molding, I forgot to put the green on. So that was interesting, but still it all worked out. But yeah, when you have more colors, it is harder to get it in time. I mean, it's not impossible. It just is a little more challenging. And titanium dioxide, which I'm putting into this batter right now, it's notorious for stiffening up batters, period, especially in cold process. But as soon as I put it into this one, it got harder than all the rest. And I noticed that the water that was in my makeshift was cooling down some. And I didn't have time to go back and heat it up, so that was adding to it. And have I mentioned lately how much I love hot process? I mean, I really love to make hot process. I started off with cold process, but hands down, there's just something about hot process that I cannot stop doing, and it's really relaxing. And I love the fact that I'm challenged that every time I make it, to come up with different styles or different designs rather, and get it to look, close enough to cold process. So it's amazing, and I love it, and I can't wait to do more and just practice more. But it's absolutely my favorite. I said that already, right? And no worries, everything that was in the container was scraped down and put into the batter at some point. And whatever was left over, of course, I make it to good use. I turn it into soap balls, and I used all the rest for the top of the soap. Now here you'll see that I'm putting whatever's was left in the containers. However, you're gonna see that on the top layer, the final top layer, is the green that I forgot to incorporate towards the beginning. No worries, it still worked out as I said. My daughter was passing by me and she said, "Mom, that looks like a pumpkin." And to some truth, yeah, it did. At least in the top, it had the fall colors of the orange and the green.